I'd love to start by saying I'm incredibly happy to welcome Sheldon, Jackie, Landon, and Wyatt to New Jersey and to the Devils family. This is a great day. I also love to say that Tom ran a very detailed and a terrific process here for our next head coach. We met a number of superb candidates, but after spending time with Sheldon and Jackie, it is clear that he is the right person for this job, and we're super excited that he accepted.
And first off, I just want to thank everyone for coming here today. This is an incredible turnout to welcome me and my family here to New Jersey. And I just have to say, from my time, the short time that we've been here already, welcome is the key word that really stands out. It's been tremendous support that we've had since we've arrived here, and coordinating our arrival here, both now and for my wife and I, our previous visit. It's been exceptional. So to see the turnout here today is wonderful, and thank you all for being here. I need to thank David Blitzer, Josh Harris for their confidence and faith in me, and Tad Brown as well, and then of course Tom Fitzgerald for my time spent with them and the discussions that we've had. It was very clear to me that not only they have belief in me, but they have belief in this team and in this program that they've built. And there's tremendous passion and commitment towards providing the necessary resources for us to do our job to continue to develop the team to reach its ultimate potential of winning a Stanley Cup. And that had me tremendously excited. With each conversation and with each day that passed, it became very clear to me that this is something that I wanted to be a part of, and to have the opportunity to be here today, as I say, is incredibly exciting. There's a lot of work ahead, which is perhaps the most exciting part. As I learned pretty quickly, as you transition from one position to another, you quickly learn that you're a hockey coach, and you want to do the work, and you want to stay involved, and you want to stay engaged. And I'm very excited about the work that's ahead, and that will begin as we get through here today. And it will be a fun off season for me to develop a coaching staff, develop relationships with players, be ready to go for day one of training camp.
When you think about what your coaching philosophy is and how you like to run a team, where did you really feel that started to really align with Tom Fitzgerald when you guys started having those discussions to, not only did Fitzy say that he knew that you were the guy that he wanted, but it had to be something that you knew that you wanted to be a part of too?
Yeah, well, the first thing is just the structure of the organization. I think was really set up set up for success in terms of giving me the things that I needed. Which is to say that you want the players to be taken care of. And I think from a sports science perspective, I think that the players are very well covered and taken care of here, and gives me a great resource to lean on to be able to maximize the potential of the players on a daily basis. And then also the analytics team and the way that it's set up to give me the information that I need to be able to help us make hockey decisions on a daily basis and live and in real time. So those resources are important to me, and then also, of course, the talent and the skill level of the group to be able to work with that and lean in on that, but also get to work at establishing the necessary competitiveness and physicality and structure that is required to have any level of success and sustainable success for an NHL team. I believe those things are all in place here, and from the initial communications I've had with players, I think they're very hungry and excited, not pleased with last season, and ready to get to work at putting together something sustainable here. Really, it's about having actions match ambitions. We set that right away as we know what the expectations are here, and what the potential is for the team to be to challenge for playoff position, to make the playoffs, and ultimately compete to win the Stanley Cup. Those are the expectations here, and that's why I've come here, because the group has that, and expectations only come when they're earned, and I think they have been earned here, and the team took a step back this season here, but has shown the potential that they have, and they're going to continue to grow and get better. The accountability piece for me, as I say, starts there, but you have to foster that as a coach, and you have to first make it clear what the ambitions are, and then make sure our actions are matching that on a daily basis. For me as a coach, it's to police that process and enforce it when the time comes and when necessary. But starting the relationships and having the clear communication and setting the expectations very early is important. And then it's just about making sure that we hold one another accountable as we go through, because myself as the coach, I expect the players to hold me accountable as well. I have a job to do, and I want their communication, their feedback. If I'm not holding up my end, or any member of our staff is not holding up our end, to give them what they need. But we'll work together towards making sure that our actions match our ambitions on a daily basis.
Sheldon, Jim Cerny from Sportsnaut. Welcome to New Jersey. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were so gracious with your video that you posted after Toronto let you go. I was wondering if you can just go back to that moment and your emotions and your thoughts. And then part two was, you knew there were a lot of options. There were a lot of coaching availabilities this offseason. So I'm curious as to how quickly your mind, as you're kind of going through the possibilities, you said, oh, New Jersey. And then if so, why?
Yeah, so the first thing in terms of the video, as I mentioned earlier, was about bringing some closure to the situation. I had a pretty good sense that day, I believe it was a Thursday perhaps, but I had a pretty good sense that day I was going to wake up and be called in for a meeting, and knew what the result was going to be. I didn't sleep much that night. I was up around 3 a.m. and rolling around in bed, and knew I wanted to bring some closure to the situation, and had the idea of having a video like that. I just thought it's an easy way. I didn't want to spend much time going through any sort of media or anything like that, but I wanted to be able to share a message to the fans and to everyone that I've been a part of. I spent a lot of years in Toronto as the coach of the Marlies and the Leafs, and worked with some incredible people, and wanted to be able to control my message and get it out there. Had the idea of utilizing social media to do so. Had that spot picked out, which is not far from where we live, and it's been my happy place to go down there and by the water and spend some time to clear my head. So I went directly from my meeting with Bradshire Living that morning to go down and shoot the video and get my message out. And then from there, I didn't quite know what was going to happen next, quite frankly. It's the first time I've been in a situation where I've been let go and unsure of what was going to come next. So didn't quite know what was to come. I went from shooting that video to taking my wife Jackie out to lunch, her and I, and it was during that lunch I already got a call from Bradshire Living letting me know that Tom had reached out and was wanting to talk. So there wasn't a whole lot of time to process things, but it was very clear that I had to make a decision on whether to engage in a process or take the time to recover and regroup from the situation in Toronto. And it didn't happen right away, quite frankly. It was something that it took time with, not a lot of time, clearly, but Tom was extremely patient, which I'm incredibly grateful for, because he gave me time to process things, to have conversations with my family. And with each day that passed and with each conversation that I had, it just felt right with New Jersey for lots of reasons. At the top of the list is, as I came out here, my wife and I, to New Jersey to learn more about the organization, to spend time with David, and to hear him speak with such passion for Devils hockey, for sports in general, and that was incredibly exciting to know that you would have the support and the resources necessary. And then also just how aligned Tom and I were. With each conversation, with each day, became more and more exciting and more real to me, that I was going to want to jump right back into it and take on this responsibility that I will not take lightly for a second, but also the privilege to coach the New Jersey Devils and work with the incredible talent we have here.